Oh, right. A Bucket of Blood is a 1959. To fly in here. Bucket of Blood is a 1959 horror film directed by Roger Corman and starring the late great Dick Miller. It's Dick Miller's only starring role. After this, he was going to have a plethora of minor roles, especially when working for Joe Dante in movies such as The Terminator. Well, that's not Joe Dante, but movies such as Small Soldiers, Gremlins, The Howling, I think he's in there too. Anything Joe Dante he'd show up in. But, yeah, so, Dick Miller stars as Walter Paisley, a struggling artist who moonlights as a waiter at this coffee house when one night an accident launches his artistic career. Excuse me, Fly, go away. This is not the Fly review, go away. So, yes, first and foremost, I do want to say, rest in peace, Dick Miller. It's been like 3 years, 4 years almost. And I actually didn't hear about this film until after he passed away. It was on Dead Meat. It was just after I started following Dead Meat on YouTube. And he did a kill count for this video. And I was sad to hear that he passed away because he was part of my childhood. Gremlins, Small Soldiers, many other movies, Terminator, like I said. So yes, and I've seen this once before. For a horror movie, it's very tame. For Roger Corman, it's very tame. So he tells us it's an early Roger Corman film. There's no tits, there's no gore. This is very early before Roger Corman became the slot master that he would eventually become. But so, like I said, he plays Walter Paisley, and this Dick Miller does. And he's this waiter guy at a coffee house. It starts really weird. There's no intro or anything. Just Bucket of Blood, and then starts with this guy doing some poetry. And Walter, he wants to be an artist. He goes home. He's trying to figure out how to make the clay into the shape, to the sculpture. He can't do it. He gets frustrated, and the landlady's cat is in the wall again. Apparently, an occurrence that happens all the time. He gets frustrated and he throws his putty knife at the wall, and it lands in the cat. He decides to sculpt over the cat, and everyone is just raving about this sculpture, which he calls Dead Cat. And that's the happy accident. Everyone's raving about this. They want to buy it, especially the owner of the place, Leonard. And I like Leonard because he has the best reactions in this film, let me tell you. So eventually the cops show up. Not because of the cat, but because Walter accidentally took drugs from one of the people at the coffee house. And so the guy's going to arrest him for possession. There's a scuffle, and Walter accidentally kills the cop. And then he puts him as the next sculpture, which he calls Murdered Man. So he tells Carla, which is his friend who works at the coffee place as well. And by now, Leonard has figured out that the cat was a real cat that was sculpted over with clay. Because it wasn't very well done, and this is Walter's shortcoming. So Leonard goes with to see this sculpture. When he sees it, the reaction from Leonard is just fantastic. You could tell he is mortified at what he is seeing. He knows it's a human being under there, and he's mortified at what Walter has done. It's fantastic. Murdered Man. It's not the last, though. there's this woman who's just horrible to Walter at the coffee house. Just horrible. Even though he's becoming very popular, she still sees him as this lonely busboy. And so he decides, oh, I'm gonna sculpt, I'm gonna, can I sculpt you? And, yeah, he strangles her. I don't remember what he calls a strangled woman or something. So he is very popular. I think Walter's big mistake is, because Carla gets so happy that she kisses him, so he thinks it's love, which it's not. And eventually Walter wants to do another one, and he decapitates some guy and shows Leonard the next day. Once again, Leonard's mortified look on his face is just fantastic. I want to say, for a 1950s film, this looks pretty good. It was in HD, it was black and white, it was on Tubi, and I liked the way it looked, for black and white. Even the sound. Although, speaking of which, there is this one point where they're in a coffee house, they're talking, and in the background there's this guy singing about murder. Like, it's a song about someone being caught for murder, and I really like that touch. Like I said, there's no gore, all the kills are cutaway kills, but I think it works. It's very well done, very tasteful, so to speak, and I like that. But most of this movie I like. I mean, it's a slow burner. It's nothing. It's 1959. It's not anything wacky, but the ending does leave some to desire, because it doesn't work for me. The rest of the film is pretty good in my opinion, but the ending is just, it's only an hour and something. I mean, an hour and 10 minutes, so it's not that long. But the ending just doesn't work. So, Walter expresses his feelings for Carla. She says, no, I like you, but I don't like you like that. Walter gets mad and says, I want to sculpt you. I want to do a sculpture after you. He's going to kill her. Well, then they're at this art exhibit for Walter's stuff, and Leonard knows what's going on. But then Carla finds out that the female statue is the mean lady from before. She confronts Walter, and he goes, well, yeah, it's her. I forgot her name. And she runs away. He runs after her. And then as soon as they run out, everybody starts to notice that these are real dead things, which is very convenient. And then they start chasing Walter. And what I do like is the beatnik guy. He gets all tuckered out, and then someone runs in and goes, oof! I laughed, okay? I laughed. It's a joke. And eventually Carla gets away, but then they're chasing Walter. He starts hearing the ghosts of people that he killed. I don't know. Walter. I don't know. But they chase him back to his apartment. But by the time they get there, he's hung himself and covered himself in the plaster stuff. And then the movie ends, and it's just like, obviously they couldn't think of an ending and thought that was good enough. It doesn't work for me. It just, I don't know what I'm supposed to think about the ending. Even after the first time I saw it, I was just like, no, not a fan of the ending. But the rest of the movie I thought was pretty good. Don't know if I can recommend it, because if you like older movies, you'll like it. I enjoy it for what it is. I'm going to say that A Bucket of Blood is pretty good. So I recommend it, I guess. But, yeah, it's not a bad watch. Older film, but pretty good. So what are your thoughts on A Bucket of Blood? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. I'll see you in the next one.